Fellas, we are back with another 5 budget commanders, complete with lists for all of them in this week's installment of Better Commander. Hey buddy, are you daft? Are you dense? Are you subscribed to this channel? If you aren't, you're missing out on nonsense that I put out at least 3 or 4 times a week, brother. And this week we're diving into some rad commanders that never quite got their due, so Nicky G is going to give it to them. We are wasting no time getting right into it with Araara, Widow of the Realm. 1 black for a legendary creature elf noble. Has tap, sacrifice another creature or artifact. Araara, Widow of the Realm deals X damage to target opponent or battle and you gain X life, where X is the sacrifice permanent's mana value. Has 5 and a red Phyrexian transform Araara. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, and this hot lady transforms into Araara, Furnace Queen, legendary creature Phyrexian elf noble. It's a 4/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, return up to 1 target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Araara is stuck at home in Eldraine, right? She's drinking wine all day while the kids drive her nuts. Her husband is off cavorting in the woods with satyrs and nymphs and God knows what, until she finally just says, screw it. I'm giving the realm to the Phyrexians. This is actually a really fun, flavorful deck in which you utilize her ability to sacrifice things you stole with ETB creatures like Conquering Manticore and the Furbolg Flutist. Those nice little ETB theft creatures, We can also use some red token makers like Mirage Phalanx to make token copies of whatever big fatty that we have, get the ETB and then fling it, man. We use hot death triggers to draw cards like the old Harvester of Souls. Look at this sweet promo, by the way. Then we have Clone Shell, 5 generic mana for an artifact creature, Shapeshifter, it's a 2/2. Has Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. When it dies, turn the exiled card face up. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield under your control. This is Goro looking fabulous on the runway in this futuristic silver ensemble. We have something like 40 creatures in this deck, so chances are we're going to hit one. Now take a look at Kaya's Ghost form. 1 black mana for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. After you steal an opponent's stuff, enchant it with Ghost form and get it back permanently. Note that it says your control, And then Kaya's dad comes to the door and says, Kaya can't come to the door right now, Timmy. She's in her ghost form. So in conclusion here, Araara is neat, slept on, really fun to play. If your opponents don't like playing creatures into this, just use your own stuff, fling them for fun. Because inside every wine mom is a Phyrexian monstrosity, brother. Alright, let's move on to Is It equipment. I don't know, is it? Coming in at 25 cents, you got Dalakos, Crafter of Wonders. 1 blue and a red for a legendary creature, Merfolk Artificer. It's a 2/4. Has tap, add 2 colorless. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Equipped creatures you control have flying and haste. You know what's good with this guy? Scythe Claw. If you plop this down turn 4, bash in, the game's gonna be over, buddy. Comes with his own little germ, just like my last Tinder date. She came with more than a few germs, brother. Now this deck utilizes small, neat creatures that hopefully draw you cards, like Sea Dasher Octopus, Prophetic Flame Speaker to bash in for value, but you gotta suit them up. We have Nettle Cyst out there of course, but also cheap equipment like Imperial Plate and Bone Saw to equip our little dudes and bash in. Having a mana dork in the command zone is very powerful, and giving creatures flying and haste is pretty bonkers, dude. This guy's a great budget commander, he's very cheap, 3 mana. I love Dalakos, he's just the Leonardo da Vinci of the sea. He's a beautiful, sparkling merfolk that brings effective equipment into Is It colors, and for that, we give him a big thumbs up. And next on our list of bangin' budget bros is Alaundo the Seer, or as I like to call him, Big Smoke. 2 green and a white for a legendary creature, Human Shaman, it's a 3/5. Has tap, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand and put a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. It gains when the last time counter is removed from this card. If it's exiled, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste until end of turn. Then remove a time counter from each other card you own in exile. Look at the expression on this guy's face, man. He just realized to use the Scroll of Eternal Truths to roll a fatty. This guy loves pizza, just like the dudes I play Magic with. This deck is nuts. You get in some pretty crazy loops with Chakram Retriever, 4 and a blue for a creature, Elemental Dog. Whenever you cast a spell during your turn, untap target creature. So you are casting these spells from exile, you untap Alaundo, he taps again, his ability goes off again, hopefully you're casting something again, and then he untaps. It's nuts, man. Alaundo has nothing to do with the suspend mechanic. and suspend cards that don't have a mana cost don't work with him if you exile them with no time counters. It specifically says when you remove the last time counter, so if you exile, say, Ancestral Vision with his ability, it's not going to do anything. But we still run cards like Ancestral Vision here. This has suspend for 1 blue mana, so you suspend it, right? So if you suspend something, it does have time counters on it, which will also be removed by Alaundo's ability. So while it doesn't behoove you to exile it with Alaundo, they are still really, really good in this deck. This deck relies on untappers like the old Kelpie guide here. You get to exile another permanent with time counters on it, and you get to remove time counters from your other exiled cards. It's very fiddly. It's a very fun deck that I built to get into infinite untap loops and draw yourself out. Win with Thassa's Oracle, most expensive card in the deck obviously. Very fun deck that makes crappy suspend cards into absolute bangers. Now if you can keep Alaundo out there, you get another dang Soul Ring with Soul Talisman. Has suspend 3 for 1 generic mana, has tap add colorless. 82 cents for this piece of crap, but Alaundo makes it hum, buddy. There are so many shenanigans in this deck, sprinkled with bigger creatures you can cheat in with all the untaps and retaps of Alaundo. You'll be drawing so many cards, may as well slot in Psychosis Crawler too. There are so many cards Alaundo interacts with in surprising ways. Tolarian Kraken, basically 1 generic mana to get another activation of our guy. Reality Strobe seems like a bad card, but what if we get 3 activations on our turn with Chakram Dog out there? Well then we're back where we started, exiling more cards to draw our deck, and return all these permanents to the owner's hand. Note Reality Strobe does not specify non-land if you want to get real nasty out there. Alaundo is going to be tapping and untapping so much, we'll be calling him Skinny Papa Smoke in no time, dude. Goldfish it. Now this next commander is just to illustrate that just because a commander is pricey doesn't mean you can't build a mean budget deck around it. Animar Soul of Elements, we all know this guy. Green, blue, and a red for a legendary creature elemental. It's a 1/1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Animar. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each +1/+1 counter on this guy. Come on, dude. This guy makes some super nasty decks, and this one uses colorless creatures, Mutate, and Eldrazi to go off in unexpected ways. Let's take Auspicious Starix for example. So this guy's 4 and a green for a creature elk beast. It's a 6/6, but that's boring, dude. We're gonna mutate it for 5 and a green. If you cast a spell for its mutate cost, blah 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 mutate tech. So basically you are casting it. Whenever this guy mutates, basically you get a free permanent from the top of your library. As we just read, mutate is casting the creature, so Animar reduces that cost as well. And we have some of the best mutate cards in these colors. Illuna, Apex of Wishes, 2 green, blue, and a red for a legendary creature, beast, elemental, dinosaur. It's a 6/6. Has mutate for 3 and a hybrid red-green, and then 2 blue. Flying and Trample. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. Tell me this is not an awesome card, dude. If you can get 2 triggers, mutate on another creature, this is pure value, man. Mutate onto Animar and make this huge flample monstrosity. And let's say we have like 6 +1/+1 counters on Animar. Our Eldrazi friends like the Devastator here are going to end up costing just 2 mana, or maybe being free. Free Eldrazi, that's the dream, dude. Plus you can slot in all those creatures that draw on cast or ETB like the old Primordial Sage here. Look at this beautiful boy. I saw the Sage in an episode of Adventure Time, man. I just know it. This deck is $50. It's wacky creature based fun. You should try it on your buddies, man. There's so many Eldrazi and Mutate cards that don't have homes, and Animar is the perfect fit. This deck can really go off. Alright, let's move on to Yennett, Cryptic Sovereign. 2 white, blue, and a black for a legendary creature. It's a Sphinx. It's a 3/5 with Flying, Vigilance, and Menace. Whenever Yennett, Cryptic Sovereign attacks, reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if its mana value is odd. If you don't cast it, draw a card, man. This is a cheetah bird lady. I saw her shopping for Cookie Monster pajamas in Walmart just yesterday. Yennett's got that third eye semi-charm kind of life, baby. This deck uses top deck manipulation to put big odd creatures on top and cast them for free. Yes, for free. And this card's like 20 cents. I was just goldfishing this list, and turn 5 Yennett swings and I have a Diluvian Primordial and Chancellor of the Spires ready to rock because we had a Strionic Resonator in there for Yennett's trigger and any ETBs we want to copy. And of course we have Brainstorm, Brainstone in there. Keep our best stuff on the top, man. There are just about 13 Sphinxes in here for a nice little sub theme, and they're all big beefy flyers. couple Cascaders like Aethersworn Sphinx and Enigma Sphinx. Check out the art on this thing, man. I know it won't be in any CEDH decks, but you gotta appreciate that art. The deck also has a flying sub-theme, so Safara gets slotted in there. Look at this beautiful angel. We also have Vega the Watcher. What a creep. He's peeping through the keyhole at you while you sand your bunions. You know what I like? This dude, Varagoth. He's odd CMC, and you can get the Magister Sphinx on top of the library, dude. When Magister Sphinx enters the battlefield, target player's life total becomes 10. Uh-oh, swing 10 flying damage at Angry Johnny over there. We also have our own odd specific board wipe, dude. Extinction Event. 3 and a black for a sorcery. Choose odd or even. Exile each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Yennett is quality, dude, and can hang with much pricier decks on account of her cheating such big monsters in, so check it out. Alright, last one. It's a bonus budget commander, and he's got some kind of chlamydia, or he may be chlamydia itself. The Ever-Changing Dane. White, blue, and a black for a legendary creature shapeshifter. It's a 3/3. Has 1, sacrifice another creature. This guy becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability. Okay, so this guy's an Esper Theft deck with a sacrifice outlet in the command zone. Now, blue has some fantastic control effects. Check this out, man. Look at this poor centaur being oppressed by this guy. It's a dang fish, man. 1 blue for a creature cephalid. It's a 1/2. You may choose not to untap it during your untap step. As it enters the battlefield, an opponent chooses a creature type. Gain control of target creature that isn't of the chosen type as long as this guy remains tapped. Damn, that's oppressive, man. The fish guy has the chain. That's not better commander, dude. Grab an opponent's creature, then pay 1 to sack it to Dane. But what if you just want more than 1 copy of that consecrated Sphinx you just stole? Well, when you sack it to Dane, activate your Cemetery Puka. So this is 1 and a Hybrid Dimir for a creature shapeshifter. It's a 1/2. Whenever a creature dies, you may pay 1. If you do, this guy becomes a copy of that creature, except it has this ability. A great terror looms. It is Ludwig the Accursed. Nope, it's just a Puka, dude. It's also a great deck for a Dark Valkyrie. You know, she's just a snow creature, dude. It's a neat card. It's a little underappreciated. It's a great attacker and says your control, not owner's control. Snag that value creature forever. Ghostly Flicker Cloud Shift can also permanently snag opponent's creatures that you grab with something like Sower of Temptation or the old Dragon Lord Silumgar. Dane is just a lot of fun, man, and that disgusting art really does it for me, dude. I don't know why. Maybe because he's a terrible monster just like me. Though my mom tells me I look just like Bane, Lord of Darkness. Dane is all about that Esper theft and control, baby. I love that. Anyways, man, that's your 5+1 bonus commander for the day, dude. These are all awesome budget decks. I'm going to link the deck list right in the description. You can check them out on Moxfield. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you're feeling spicy, you can buy me a coffee, also at the link in the description. And I love you, buddy. Nikki G from Better Commander, signing off.